Lemonada Media cancelled Meghan's podcast as she can't book any A-list guests. They isolated her. A year delay in Meghan Markle's new podcast series being released could be down to her struggling to book A-list guests. Expert Kinsey Schofield told GB News she heard from an insider saying Meghan Markle has hit a stumbling block with the new series as part of a deal with Lemonada due to lack of guest availability. "They all have diaries filled," she said. Miss Schofield said Meghan doesn't have as much pressure on her to release the podcast as she did while signed with Spotify, but a lack of available dates for prospective guests was proving to be a stumbling block. She told the broadcaster, Lemonada Media is apparently putting a new podcast on hold until next year at the earliest. Yesterday, Meghan and Harry's representatives said that they're afraid that a new lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, and a new Netflix series could conflict with the promotion that they'd really like to go into this new podcasting venture. Kinsey Schofield added, "There is, I would suspect, not a lot of money on the line here, or there'd be pressure and bigger expectations for Meghan to execute this. We saw that with Spotify. There was a countdown clock. When they only got 13 episodes out of the Sussexes, they gave them the chop." Miss Schofield credited the Daily Mail, the source of the claims, where it's reported a list of very high-profile guests have been scheduled to participate. Very high-profile guests usually have their diaries filled months in advance, she said. Meghan should know. Presenter Eamon Holmes butted in asking whether producing the series herself was a wise call, adding that he felt the numbers of producers on a Spotify show could have been a case of too many cooks. Miss Schofield replied, "During the last series, there were 17 producers and executive producers. I expect she's probably going to have less cooks in the kitchen because I think that was one of the reasons it took so long to get content out. Too many people had a say in that final product. The best podcasts have presenters who are interesting subjects themselves. The podcasts Markle participated in revealed her personality in all of its ugliness, including the cluelessness she had about the form and how that revealed she's an arrogant, spoiled princess who thinks minions should do all of the work for her. And then she emanates a radiance and glow that will make everyone bow down to her. No wonder she isn't producing any more with Lemonada, whoever they are. She's lazy, entitled, arrogant, and most of all, maybe she realises that she can't hide how ugly her soul is in the medium she thought would be hers, to extend a narcissistic malignancy with. How could the launch of a lifestyle brand overshadow a podcast? One would bring attention to the other, which would only help the podcast because no one's interested in it otherwise. Celebrities have multiple products and projects launching all of the time. This makes absolutely no sense. It's clear that she had nothing ready to go for the podcast and wasn't ready to start working on it, as per usual. Constantly under-delivering is literally the entirety of a brand, so I guess she's right on target.